The US just kickstarted the next major leg for Bitcoin to the upside. I will show you in today's episode exactly what they did and what Trump's new bill has actually to do with that, and so much more in today's episode, so don't miss out on that, and let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Wednesday. I try to keep it short because there's a lot of stuff that we need to go through today. So we jump directly here into the DXY. The DXY is seeing here a small reversal today, a really small bounce back to the upside. And this has actually to do with something that happened here overnight. And it is actually multiple things that happened here overnight that I'm going to speak here in a minute about. That are leading to, first of all, Bitcoin bouncing back to the upside and the dollar going up slightly right now, here back to close to 97 points. This has happened in the past when this specific event occurred that I'm going to tell you here in a moment. So one thing that happened yesterday, or overnight, so to speak, is that the national debt ceiling was increased with the big beautiful bill of Donald Trump by roughly $5 trillion, which is absolutely insane to raise debt so high, especially because he promised that he will actually slash the national debt to lower levels and wanted to get closer. I think, if I remember correctly, he wanted by the end of his term get to like 30 trillion or something like that. So basically reduce the debt by $7 trillion plus the initial 5 that he is now adding to it would be 12. Which would be 30% of the US national debt currently, which is, a lot. So now he's actually adding 5, making it more complicated to fulfill his promise that he gave to his constituents and the American people. So, but where does these $5 trillion actually come from? So here's like an additional 2.4 trillion will be added to the primary deficits that are already there and that are coming over this current decade, and adding $3 trillion of debt, including interests, which is adding in total $5 trillion to the US national debt. So, but, and here comes now the really juicy part for us, what happens when the debt ceiling gets increased? Because they cannot just increase the debt ceiling and say, oh, we have now more money that we can spend. So the money has to come from somewhere. So what are they doing? They start printing more money. So, and the US state money supply has now increased to almost $21.94 trillion. You see here a spike of basically $80 billion just since yesterday. The M2 money supply is increasing. And what happens when the money supply is increasing, Bitcoin is catching up at one point, and the rest of the market too, because this money, the money is not just going now to the government, the $5 trillion. When the money gets printed, the bank has to get rid of it, and they are not just giving it only to the state, they are giving it to consumers to generate revenue from this by loaning out the money. And that's then what happens next is that people that are taking out the money, they make investments. Where they're gonna put where they're gonna put that money, where they're going to invest, they invest in risk assets like crypto, stocks, precious metals, wherever. But every time when the money supply increases and money gets printed, that has historically always also seen a spike crypto to the upside. So here, this is now the global money supply that keeps moving here higher. Here we are actually delayed. And what I mean by that is when you look over here at this peak is over here. So here the money supply was in that sense behind, but here we got a forecast over that drop. That drop happened over here. Here we got these two moves to the upside. Here are the two moves to the upside, more or less in line. But now we had here a small consolidation with a downwards move. That's what we saw here now, a small consolidation with a downwards move. That leg to the upside is missing. That leg to the upside, in my opinion, will get us to $140,000 in the next coming weeks for Bitcoin. And at the same time, when here you have more proof that when the money supply is increasing every single time, that Bitcoin is actually going up. And we're gonna have a look at this now. Look here, when we saw the COVID crash, we started money printing, price went up. Then again, increased low interest rates by the end of the year, first, they just increased the money supply, so Bitcoin went higher in 2021. Then low interest rates got increased. We saw again a small pump, then we saw consolidation, but overall we were going higher. And then the last time in April 2021, again, an increase in the money supply, and we went up here again slightly, a little bit from that initial drop. And then we started consolidating over the summer before we saw another rally into the all-time high of 2021. But overall, as you can see here, every time when the money supply increased, Bitcoin saw a massive run here into higher levels. So, and the current move from Bitcoin to the upside is not only fueled by the M2 money supply increasing. There were signs over the last couple of days already that smart money is moving. Yeah, that smart money is moving in right now to scoop up all the coins that the dumb money is basically getting rid of. So, and what happened was here, Bitcoin realized profit by age. So that means the longer you hold, the more colorized this chart is in darker colors. As you can see here, in purple 10 years, then 7 to 10 years in blue, then green, then lighter green, and mint green, and yellow, and so on and so on. So here we saw profit taking by real OG wallets first. So, and that's absolutely normal, you know. So when you hold for more than 10 years or more than 7 to 10 years, now we think back what the price was. That was almost, that was a little bit later around the time when I started actually. So 7 to 10 years, so 10 years back is when I really started with crypto. I have receipts. I still have them. If you write me in the comment that you want to see them, I'm going to post them with my name and everything. I have receipts where I bought Bitcoin below $300. My first couple of Bitcoins, I bought them in 2015 below $300. I still have the receipts until this day and can go into that account from where I bought them to show it to people that I bought there. So if you hold since $300 and you are sitting now, let it be you bought $30,000. So you are sitting there with 100 Bitcoin right now, and you made $10 million basically from $30,000, would you not cash out a little bit? I can totally understand that some people are taking profit if they held that long and now they need money for something, that they're taking something out. And of course, people, bigger Bitcoin stashes are more incentivized to do that around these numbers that we are seeing right now than people that just got in a couple months ago. Of course, we have these paper hands, but like huge amounts of Bitcoin are usually sold by OG wallets that are holding for a multi-year period already. So, and this is what we are seeing here, and these coins went not to short-term holders, they actually went to whales. So, and when did the whales load up? They loaded up when Bitcoin was here in a demand generation period that we saw here between the Bitcoin inflow and the stablecoin inflow. So when we hit stablecoin low inflows, which are marked here in blue, demand was generated for Bitcoin. For example, the last time here in 2022, around the FTX crash, and price started to go up again. And the same here in January 2023, price started to rally to the upside. So now we are again at the same spot in moment in time here, where we are in a blue phase and got here that green dot, which means that we are seeing here huge demand coming in from new whales that are going to push the price to the upside. And if you want to trade the next couple moves here into these higher price levels for Bitcoin, then go to BloFin. There is a pinned link in the description and the pinned comment below where you can get a Rolex, you can get here AirPods, a Switch, an iPhone 16, a MacBook Pro, and an Apple Vision Pro. Depending on how much you trade, you get certain prices, but this is only available until the 10th of July, so another 8 days. And the last 24 hours have started, guys. The last 24 hours. If you sign up right now with a BloFin account, which is, by the way, non-KYC, and you deposit at least $100, then you can get my crypto course absolutely for free, where I explain you in really easy and digestible way how to properly learn trading. I spoke with my girlfriend the other day, and she was amazed. She's American, by the way, you know. So, and she said, you explained it in such a simple and easy digestible way. I can so easily follow what you are saying. I don't understand everything what you say in your videos, but if you explain it to me and you do it the same way like you do it in your course, I understand everything. So she doesn't know anything about crypto. So, and if that's you, then this course is definitely for you. Like I said, sign up with the link in the pinned comment below and the description below to BloFin, deposit $100 and fill out the Google form. There is a link to a Google form. Without the Google form, I cannot give you the course because I need your email address. So follow all the steps. And yeah, see you then in the program. Like I just mentioned, all of these reasons have led to, because they were kind of, how to say that? They were combined. That's not the right word that I'm looking for, but the next best word that I can use for that. So all these things came yesterday combined, or for you, late night, that led to that Bitcoin spiked here back to the upside after yesterday's daily close and today's daily open, and is retesting right now this downward sloping trend line of the overall bull flag that we have formed here. And we are basically on the cusp of a breakout. So either we are closing today already above that and get a close above $108,000, or by tomorrow I expect this to be happening and we start rallying here to the upside. So if you're looking for a high time frame trade on Bitcoin, this might be your chance to get in right now and trade this into the technical target of around $140,000. I just personally like to take profits a little bit before these targets, because sometimes they overshoot, sometimes they underperform. So I rather take the conservative target of that bull flag, which is at $136,200. 2% that I can make more, or 3% that I can make more, are not really interesting for me, because on that move alone is 26.55% of a profit. I will trade this with, I don't know, 15x, you know, so, or 10x, even 10x, yeah, maybe 14, so that I get to 300% of a profit up here, which is 3x my money, you know, what I put in there. So why should I risk going all the way up to $144 when I just need the conservative target to be hit, you know? And of course, I'm gonna raise my stop loss along the way. On the shorter time frames, on a 50-minute time frame, we are getting currently a retest of the original entry that I had given yesterday here at around $107,168. So we kind of round trip this here. So if you're in this trade, just hold it, guys. Just hold it. We got a small deviation below support here, which was pretty short-lived. That lasted only a little bit more than 12 hours, I would say 15 hours, basically. So that is 3-4 hourly candles, so not that massive. And now we are basically just coming back above here, this level. So now you understand why this was so important that we break above that to enter this trade. Because here, resistance, let me actually circle that. Resistance, resistance. Here, support, support, support. And also over here, endlessly support along that line. So here, that is for me just another retest that we bounce off from. So if you missed this trade yesterday, that is for you the right moment to get in. All the way up to $107,400, I would still consider entering this and trade this here into $109,000 approximately. Then on the 4-hourly chart here, we are above all the major moving averages, which is really important. So we bounce off the 200 moving average, reclaimed straight away the 50 and the 20 moving average here. So if you got here a sniper entry all the way down here, perfect, more or less from the mid-range at $105,150. So you had here multiple options to get into a trade, and here the target remains $114,000. But first of all, here $109,000 you see here right now. Why I have on the other trade $109,000? Because it's the top of the trading range that we are currently in, and only if we break above that, I would stay and continue this trade to the upside, and otherwise I would set my stop loss at around $108,500 and see what's happening with the trade over here. You know, so then you're gonna just see and wait what's happening. If we break above $109,000, good, just let it ride. You know, you can take all the way up to $114,000. If it kicks you out, also fine. Then we find in the next couple of days, potentially tomorrow already, a better entry. Then on the 1-hourly chart, I was this morning seeing, I saw this morning here that bullish divergence that played out, took a trade according to that, and I'm already out because I only traded it all the way up here into that, what I was thinking would be supposedly resistance, $107,200. And now we are seeing here, not really a bearish divergence on 1 hourly chart shaping, but just a small briefer. You see here we are already bouncing potentially off that support level that I just have shown, and then we need to break the top of the range at $108,000 to get here into higher prices. The liquidation levels here is so much more room to go to the upside because all the liquidity is currently stacked above us, starting from $107,850 to $109,500 approximately, exactly what I mentioned yesterday. We're above the 50 moving average, as I just said, based on the golden cross. Also want to mention here, I told you guys, expect the move to the 200 moving average. Because of the golden cross, we usually get a small move beforehand, a small pump, and then we come back to the 50 and the 200 to retest them. Then we get a bounce, then we continue the upwards trajectory. And this is exactly what we are seeing here right now. And the over-leveraged liquidity on the long side was completely taken out here. So here's nothing anymore until $104,750, which I don't believe is getting to be touched here in the near future before we are touching at least $110,000. On the liquidation heat map, you see also here clearly that we went here for the $106,200 level all the way down to $105,000. That was what I told you guys yesterday, that I would potentially expect a move like that before we see here a massive bounce back to the upside, and this is what we are seeing here in front of our eyes. And the next highest area of interest for us currently is $108,970, let's say $109,000. And from there we could trigger a short squeeze all the way up to $110,000, $111,000. And from there get then a downwards move again, because a shit ton of people are gonna sell around the current all-time high while we're creating a new one. And come potentially then back to $108,000, $107,000 before we get continuation into higher levels one more time. On the reactor indicator and on the MDX Algo scalp gradient, so here you got two dot plots which are marking usually a reversal or a local bottom. That is also what we can see here in the chart. So we came all the way down here to the bottom of this pennant here to the upward sloping trend line. Also, that was mentioned yesterday. I would not be surprised to see that, but that we would also bounce from there. And yeah, there's not much more to say to this. Besides that, now we are waiting for this downward sloping trend line to be broken and move into these sell clusters that go all the way up to $110,400 approximately. The only thing, and I mentioned that to one of my clients today that I mentor, here this sell tag coinciding or being really close to these two dot plots is a little bit concerning for me. I have seen this rarely on this indicator, because for example here there's a day in between, so here's not a day in between, here's not even half a day in between. I have seen this in the past, and then price actually came one more time down and then started to rally. So I'm not so sure which one is misfiring here. For now I would say the sell tag is misfiring, because we got the two dot plots and bounce here back to the upside. But we have to see, because the sell tag came literally at the bottom. Yeah, and actually yes. So the sell tag is the one that was misfiring here on this indicator in that sense. So yeah, so I figured that just out. Something else, guys, before I move here into altcoins, don't forget, if you want to trade altcoins with me together, do this on Bybit. You still get up to $30,000 in sign-up and deposit bonuses with the link in the pinned comment below and the description below. Everything you can find there. Plus that you get a Bybit card. I always have my Bybit card not around me when I say this, but you get up to 10% cash back with the Bybit card. So I'm gonna give you that example again. Imagine I go and buy this watch here, and see, iced out diamond watch. This watch costs $32,000. So if I go now and buy my watch with the Bybit card, I get 10% straight away back. So now I paid only $29,000 for that watch. Why would you not do that? So why would you not do that and use a card like this for stuff like this? So that's why I'm telling you, get a Bybit account, get a Bybit card, and get also all the bonuses available there. Now, the Bitcoin dominance is raging a little bit to the upside. Again, not really surprising, because Bitcoin had here over the course of today 10 consecutive 1 hourly candles just going up. So of course the dominance is spiking to the upside, but I still believe that we are not going higher than here 66%. And seeing here soon that turnaround to the downside. The total free market cap also nicely coming back to the top of this downward sloping trend line here of the overall parallel channel, so to the top side of it, by, I would say, the end of the week. During the weekend, we are going to retest $835 billion. And I say it again, once we're breaking above that, 900 billion and higher, it will be the next technical target, because up here is the next resistance at $896 billion approximately. And then Ethereum is holding on to the mid-range. So we are currently trading here in this range here for Ethereum from $2,140 to $2,740. Since we entered this range here on the 8th of May, we got one deviation above that. That is not really a deviation, but one here to the top side where we failed to break out. And since then, we keep consolidating here. As long as we are holding the mid-range over the next couple hours here above $2,432, I expect in the next 48 hours a retest of $2,740, and will also take an Ethereum trade according to that. So right now I'm holding off because the stochastic is about to turn around, the RSI is about to turn down here. So I'm gonna wait maybe another the next 4-hourly candle to make that decision if I want to enter here or not. And guys, that's it already for today's episode. Quite Bitcoin centric today, but I had to do it because it's really important that you know about this, because the next major leg for Bitcoin is just around the corner. So don't get shaken out of the market. Sit on your coins, and don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with more money tomorrow.